Aren't you a little short for a...
What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of the Multiverse Report. Tonight, we are recapping the week's nerdy news from LV426 to Mina Rao and everywhere in between. My name is Mike Gibson. With me as always, Steve Haller. What's up, Steve?
Oh, nothing much here, Mike. Just another normal day in the greater Syracuse area.
That's right. It's kind of a nice day today, too, don't you think?
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
We had a nice
Sorry,
day.
a little behind the scenes stuff for the listeners. But Steve, I just figured out why I was sounding different in my headphones than I normally do.
Oh, yeah.
And I fixed it.
What'd you do?
Just a little story. I closed GarageBand, which was
Ah.
wide open on my computer, and I think
Just feeding back
whatever
into yourself.
effect. Yeah, that was why.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for the listener for that thing that doesn't make sense to you, but you kind of get it. Yeah, nice day in Syracuse, New York. Sunny, beautiful, however, chilly. But didn't stop Steve and I and a bunch of kids from going fishing this morning
It is
for
true.
a scout outing. Scouting? Scouting?
Sure.
No, that's kind of a different word.
Scouting
Scout
outing?
outing. Scouting outing.
Skitouting?
There you go. Yeah, scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk in depth about our trip to the Carpenter's Brook Fish Hatchery just to fill some time, because it's a pretty light week for news.
I was going to say it is about as light as it comes for us this week. Though
Yeah.
we normally do say that, and then somehow we just keep talking.
True. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the episode that lives up to the often said, never followed through statement of this might be a short episode, because there's literally one story.
It
before we
does
get
look
to
pretty
comics. Yeah.
Now, that said, it's not going to be a short episode in the sense that the episode itself may be short, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking for a while about Andor episodes 1 through 3 of season 2 after this.
That's true. Yeah. So we're going to get through the one story. We're going to get through some comic stuff. And then we're going to talk about the first 3 episodes of Star Wars Andor season 2. And yeah, so stick around for that. First of all, I got to say, this podcast is sponsored by Funky Town Comics and Vinyl, Camillus, New York. Pretty great store. If you've ever been there, if you haven't been there, you should go. You should definitely go there this Saturday on Free Comic Book Day. Free Comic Book Day is this Saturday, people.
If you like comic books and you like free, you should go there.
Yeah.
And if you're not here, go to your local comic book shop, because Free Comic Book Day in general, like, great support for the industry. Go get some free books. Take a kid, take a friend who doesn't know anything about books. Like, go introduce somebody to comics.
Exactly. Yep. Get them on board. Now, Free Comic Book Day, does that mean that every comic in every store is free? No.
All of them.
Not whatsoever. There are a select number of comic books that'll be printed specifically for Free Comic Book Day. We're going to run down some of them in a little bit here. I'm going to go through the list. And those you are welcome to. Probably limited amount you can take, but you can't just walk in and grab a copy of Action Comics #1 off the shelf and
Right.
expect to walk out without paying anything. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it works, folks.
Well, no, you can do that.
Sure.
You will not end up
go to jail.
Yes, you will not end up in the free end of things for long.
Yeah, you will go to jail. If you do that, you will go to jail. And I also think the store owner should go to jail for having just Action Comics #1 on a shelf where people can grab it.
Just
'Cause
readily
that's
available.
their fault, and
Yeah.
they also deserve to be in jail for that.
Fair enough.
The other reason that you should go to Free Comic Book Day, specifically at Funky Town Comics and Vinyl, is because as long as the weather is good, I am going to be there outside the door vending my own comic book and giving out flyers with QR codes printed on them. And if you scan that QR code, where's it going to take you? It's going to take you to the Kickstarter page for my new comic book that is live right now. That's a comic book called I Brought a Gorilla to a Gunfight, about a female bounty hunter in the Old West who rides a giant gorilla, throws knives. It's a really fun book. It's a ton of action, a lot of fun, fast-paced, action-packed thrill ride of a first issue. An oversized 30-page issue of this comic book is on Kickstarter right now. We've been live for less than a week. We're a little over 30% to our goal. I think we're doing pretty good. But I'm going to need a lot more people to get there. So if you listen to this, you haven't pledged my Kickstarter yet, check out I Brought a Gorilla to a Gunfight on Kickstarter right now. You can come and talk to me about it at Funky Town on Free Comic Book Day. Again, if the weather's good. If it's raining, I'm probably not going to be outside trying to sell things made of paper.
It's probably in your best interest.
Yeah. But if it's a nice day, I'll be out there. You can come say hi. I'll talk your ear off about I Brought a Gorilla to a Gunfight and convince you to pledge to it. If you don't need convincing, then what are you waiting for? Go to Kickstarter right now. Type in I Brought a Gorilla to a Gunfight or just Gorilla.
Why are you yelling at me, Mike? I already pledged.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm not even yelling at all. I could yell.
Oh, it's because I had the mix wrong.
Yeah. You turn me down. Turn me down. Yeah, just go do it. Yeah, Steve already pledged. He pledged. He's a day one backer.
Absolutely.
He's that kind of guy. That's Steve Haller. So day one backer. And you know what? I'm sorry if this is too personal, Steve, but Steve pledged at the highest level of my Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
And for that, he gets a physical copy of the book. He gets a digital copy of the book. A digital deluxe copy of the book with bonus materials.
Ooh.
He gets his name printed in the book on the thank you page, and he gets an exclusive, personalized to him song that I am going to write and record full of facts about gorillas.
There you go.
Now that's the highest tier on the Kickstarter. I so far have to write, I think, 5 of these. I have to write and record 5 exclusive songs for people about gorilla facts. No 2 songs will be the same. They're guaranteed to be at least a minute in length. My overindulgent brain says that they'll be definitely over a minute in length, unless I have to do like 500 of them by the end of this thing.
Right.
And then they're going to be like, gorillas are fuzzy or whatever. So that's just one of the things you can get if you pledge to my Kickstarter. That's
true.
the highest. That's the most esteemed tier right there. So
I am quite impressed that how did you guys was it a Matt decision to settle on the bounty hunter using kunai, like the Japanese throwing knives?
Yeah, that was all him.
Nice.
That was all him. I just had she throws knives.
Yeah.
That's all I had. I didn't describe the knife. I was just like, this is what it is.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think those are definitely more visually appealing than the knife that I had in my brain, which was just a regular
right.
knife. Or like a knife throwing, like not even like a knife that you could use for any other purpose than like throwing it in like you know how like the circus, like the knife throwing are just blades with nothing. There's no real handle. They're just like tossed like batarangs or something, you know?
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, no, that was all his design choice.
Nice. Richard mentioned he's going to have to grab a copy of the book. So
Richard, yes, I'll be very disappointed in you.
If he does,
if he doesn't,
we'll have to ship something good over to Richard with the book.
Yeah, sure. So, do we have any Multiverse Report swag left?
I don't.
Do we have any stickers or coasters?
I'm sure we got something floating around. We'll make it happen.
Did we have one coaster left last time we did a con?
I think we do. We
did
might
we give it away. Did we keep on that?
We'd have a coaster.
Richard, I promise you, if we still have a coaster left, it's yours, my man. It's yours. It'll be in that envelope. With a copy of I Brought a Gorilla to a Gunfight.
We can all be jealous of him since on Free Comic Book Day he's heading to A1 in Sacramento to get Ron Lim's signatures.
Ooh, nice.
So bring all your Silver Surfers and go enjoy.
Yeah. Also, speaking of celebrity guests at Free Comic Book Day, is this common knowledge? Who's going to be at Funky Town? Should I say this or should I not say this yet?
I don't know the answer there.
Okay. There's going to be a
Brian in the chat. Let us know if we can say this.
Yeah. Brian, do you know if we can say this? Say who's going to be at Funky Town on Free Comic Book Day? I mean, it's not the biggest surprise in the world since he's been at Funky Town before.
Right.
But I don't want to say anything that I shouldn't be saying. So anyway, Free Comic Book Day, me, Funky Town Comics and Vinyl, going to be there. You know who else is going to be there? Matt Flint, the guy who draws I Brought a Gorilla to a Gunfight for me. So 2 of us will be there. Both of us, if it's raining, you can still see Matt, and he'll still give you a flyer to scan the QR code and pledge to our Kickstarter. If it's nice, you can see both of us. Say hello. That'd be wonderful. So yeah, do that. I think that's all I have to promote. Should we dive into our huge rundown? Unless you have anything else.
Sure. Might as well. Oh
Might as
no,
well
yeah,
dive in,
it is
or might
public
as well have
knowledge for the
something.
record.
It is public knowledge. You were looking
Yep.
it up. Okay.
Well, Brian helped
The great Joe Jusko will be at Free Comic Book Day at Funkytown Comics and Vinyl. This will be his 2nd year in a row signing stuff at Funkytown Comics. Super nice guy. Steve talked to him about the Yankees for a long time last time. He signed a couple books for me and signed a Spider-Man poster for my son that's hanging in his room right now.
Signed that
cool.
9/6 cover of his that I randomly grabbed out of his bin that I had no idea.
Hey. Pretty awesome.
So, yeah.
Pretty awesome. The legendary Joe Jusko will be signing and shaking hands at Funkytown Comics and Vinyl on Free Comic Book Day. Again, I will be outside. Artist Matt Flint will be inside talking about Brought a Gorilla to a Gunfight. Check it out on Kickstarter right now. All right, I'm done talking about it for now. What I'm about to start talking about is something I'm pretty excited about. Steve, this is a franchise that I always like, but there's been such peaks and valleys in it that sometimes it's hard for me to remember that I like it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the highs have been very high and the lows have been very low.
Yeah, the highs are super fun. The lows are like, oh, this is a waste of time. Why am
Right.
I watching this? And we're talking about the Predator franchise. Predator. Predator.
No, that was Prey.
You're right. It really was. You know what? I just learned about Prey today while I was looking at the trailer for the new Predator movie came out before we just
Predator
immediately-
Badlands is the title of the new one.
Predator Badlands. It is written and directed by, at least co-written by, definitely directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who is the guy that did Prey, the most recent installment in the Predator franchise, which is fantastic and my favorite Predator film, I have to say.
It did officially eclipse the original?
Yes, it had. Yeah, the original is great, and there's a lot of reasons to love the original, but Prey, I think, is so good that it nudges it out just a little bit for me. But that first one is pretty great. I heard someone on a podcast say the first Predator movie is great because it starts as an action movie. It just starts as like a war.
Yeah, like straight up
commandos in the jungle. And the fun part of it is watching the characters in that movie realize that they are in a science fiction horror movie.
Right.
Because they don't think they are.
Right.
That's like the
they
fun
just
part
think they're in Vietnam somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And then slowly they're like, oh, wait, we're in a different movie than we thought we were in.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, like the two halves of that movie are Alien and Aliens.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Except the one thing is that it starts with a ship landing on Earth. Predator does.
Yeah, so if
that wasn't in it, I kind of wish that wasn't in it. And then I could show that to my son being like, hey, you want to watch this movie called Predator? It's about guys in the jungle during the Vietnam War, or whatever war it is. And then have him be like, what is happening? That would be such like a twist if you didn't know there was an alien element to that movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, Predator Badlands. Trailer came out today. This is a movie we've been hearing about for a while. We've heard the title for a while. We knew that Elle Fanning was in it. Now, my most recent memory of Elle Fanning is her being on a Hulu show called The Great, where she played Catherine the Great, Queen of Russia. So when I heard that Elle Fanning was going to be a Predator movie, and it was from the guy that did Prey, I immediately thought, oh, this is going to take place in some kind of Victorian time, because I could only picture Elle Fanning with like a crazy curled wig and like a giant dress and shit.
Which that show was great.
It was great. Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult was awesome in it.
Incredible in that show. Nicholas Hoult is so good. He's such a great actor. I'm very excited to see him as Lex Luthor because he is really great and he's hilarious on that show. And very menacing at the same time. Very good.
weirdly. Like, I don't know how
Weirdly.
he pulls that off, but yeah.
And he can switch like in a scene
Yeah.
from being like a doofy, I don't give a shit about my people to
Right.
like, how dare you say that to me? Yeah,
Right.
he's really,
I'm now
really good.
going to kill various people or have them
Exactly.
killed.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, that was just me being stupid. Of course, Elle Fanning is a great actor that can play more than just one role and isn't going to be typecast as Catherine the Great for the rest of her life. So anyway, we got the trailer for Predator Badlands, and there are a couple of unique things about this trailer. Overall, I thought this was a really great trailer. Steve, have you seen it? What did
Yeah,
what
I
did you
did.
think about it? Yeah.
Very, very different movie from
Yeah.
well, any of the mainline Predator movies.
Yes. Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
set in their homeworld?
Either, yeah, is it their
Or
homeworld or is it just some other alien planet? It's definitely not Earth. It's
right.
definitely not Earth. And the trailer kind of confirms this, and because I've heard a lot of other kind of scuttle online about it, that it seems like one of the things that sets this movie apart is that the Predator is the main character. The Predator
Right.
is the protagonist of the film. And if you've ever seen a Predator movie, you know that there's usually a human character that is the protagonist trying to defeat the Predator or survive against the Predator.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Daniel Glover, why can't Amber Midthunder?
Yep.
For example, you know, these are human characters, you know, up against something they've never encountered before.
Yeah. So when you said Danny Glover, for the record, I wanted to correct you and say Donald Glover, and then I realized I was way off.
Different guy. Different guy. No relation.
What was Lethal Weapon. So good.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. That'd be cool if he had a cameo in this movie, though.
Just randomly.
Old Danny Glover showed up.
Yeah, comes I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, literally. So yes, the Predator seems to be the protagonist of this film. Maybe a younger Predator. I've just seen people like piecing stuff together from stuff that we're seeing. A rogue Predator maybe on his own a little bit, seemingly trying to survive against this inhospitable world with giant monsters and tentacle things and plants that are spiky and exploding and trying to kill you. Like, it seems like he's on his own. Like, we've definitely seen Predators moving in teams before, and this is like, you know, certainly just one alone. Well, we've also seen him working alone, obviously, of course.
And that Predator, the first view we've got of the Predator, or whatever Predator we're following in this one,
sure,
definitely a unique look to him. Like, I couldn't tell whether I liked it or not. So, like, something felt off.
Yeah,
and
it looked like he had like shaved the equivalent of shaved sides of his head.
Right. He had like an undercut. Yeah.
Yeah. And no mask.
And
or at least in the scenes we saw in the mask, maybe like I saw people theorizing that maybe this is like a training thing, or this is like you need to earn your mask, you need to earn your technology. But it seems like he's not really using the classic Predator technology that we've seen. He's not wearing the mask. Maybe he doesn't even have like the targeting system or the cloaking device. Maybe, like, I don't remember seeing the cloaking device in the trailer, certainly not with this character. So he might be just like stripped down. This is your either you have to prove yourself, or you're some kind of outcast and you're trying to defend yourself or work your way back into the clan or something. You know, those are the kind of theories I've seen about it.
Yeah, I'm curious with him how he, like, I almost wonder if they made him a little too human looking. Like, maybe that's what was bugging me. Of like the top half of his head looked like almost human. Yeah, with the weird ass mouth.
Yeah, besides the mandibles, he's still got. Don't worry, folks. He's still got the Predator mandible things. And, you know, maybe that was a purposeful choice, because maybe they had to make him look more human to be slightly more relatable, since he's going to be the protagonist. You need audiences to relate to him more than if he was more Predator looking.
He was also much drier, if that makes sense.
That's true.
Like, there wasn't all the weird mucusy whatever going on.
Yeah, certainly. Now, Elle Fanning's character apparently, I didn't get this from the trailer, but I read it, has been revealed to be playing, she's playing 2 roles. She's playing twins, quote unquote twins, but they're not biological twins because she's playing a synthetic. She's
Okay.
playing, which is a new entry to the Predator franchise. She's playing, there's a scene in the trailer where she's like restrained by some
With the
vines
eye
or
thing.
twigs or something. Her eyes flip over.
Yep.
And there's a Wayland Yutani logo on her eyes. Now we know the Wayland Yutani Corporation is the corporation from the Alien franchise. So she is playing a synthetic in the line of Ash and David and the guy from Alien Rom. Like she's playing like this they're bringing in elements of the Alien franchise to this Predator movie. Which has not been seen since the Alien versus Predator 2 movies of the early 2000s. One of which
were definitively movies.
Neither are cinema, but I think the first one is pretty fun and great. The second one is dog shit. The first one is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, the first one's definitely a popcorn jam. Like you can just turn your brain off and watch crazy shit.
And you can also tell, I think, watching that movie, that the makers of that movie really understand and respect both franchises, and they it's very similar to Freddy versus Jason, where like that movie again is like just popcorn, silly craziness, but like you can tell the people were like, if this was going to happen, what's the most logical way that this would happen?
Yep.
And I think that they do a really good job of that in Alien versus Predator, which makes me be able to have fun with it and not just think it's terrible. Alien Predator Requiem is just terrible dog shit film. But anyway, it's possible that they see the potential in a crossover because the AVP movies, whoever wins, we lose. Those came before a time when cinematic universes and crossovers were like a thing. Yeah. And clearly they were kind of ham-fisted, and, you know, reviews will tell you how well they were received. But now we're in a place where Alien Romulus was a mega hit when that came out last summer, and Prey was a huge hit critically and commercially. It was just a Hulu original, but it was really well received. So now I think Fox is saying, hey, we got some juice in these 2 franchises here. Maybe we can find an actual organic or a better way to bring them together.
Right. Don't just shoehorn it in. Like,
don't make it out of no way, no reason at all, but like put the right steps in place and make it kind of make more sense, I guess.
Yeah. For, as much as I don't like using Rotten Tomatoes, it's always, a baseline.
Sure. Sure.
The tomato meter on Prey was 94%.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I feel like Rotten Tomatoes, like when you see something that's very highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, I'll take that fine. It's when you see the dog shit ratings that you got to take it with a grain of salt.
I agree with you. Because they just get review bombed.
Right.
There's like,
did you see the
lead character, a woman?
Yeah. Did you see the 2018 Predator?
I saw part of it. I don't think I finished watching it because I didn't love it. I should for
science.
For science, I should finish watching it, I think. But it was not something that I really thought was great. I think it was last summer I watched a bunch of Predator movies. I rewatched Prey and then I watched all of them again. But speaking of that, just go back to the trailer real quick. We mentioned a bunch of stuff that we saw in it, but it opens with like a Predator trophy room, kind of, which we first saw in Predator 2.
Yep.
With a bunch of skulls hanging on the wall, and there's like a human one with like the spine, which we see him do in like Predator movies. He rips the skull out with the spine on it. Yep. But there's also a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton, which is dope. There's like a human one. There's like a giant ape-looking one, and there's also in the center this. I didn't recognize this myself, but it was pointed out somebody online that the one in the center of the trophy room, the skull, is an alien from Independence Day.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw that called out online. I was like, we adding that to the franchise. Now,
I don't think Independence Day is like a hot enough property to really like compete.
I don't know. I mean, when that came out, that was a game changer.
Yeah, but it came out a really long time ago, and they did a sequel a few years ago that I think was a huge bomb. So I don't know that
Yes, it was.
So I don't know that the fervor is there. Like the makers of Independence Day franchise would love it if they got officially put into an Alien or
100%.
Predator franchise. They would be like,
100%.
yes, please, get me some money so we can do this. So I thought that was cool. But I should also say, while we're talking about them, I think there's another spot in the Badlands trailer where there's a Weyland-Yutani logo as well. So
Later,
it's clear that they're like
late in the trailer.
Yeah, that they're putting some things in place. Insider Jeff Snyder this week also reported that from what he has been told, his sources have told him that currently the script for Fede Alvarez's sequel to Alien Romulus includes a predator. Now, in what form? No idea. It could be a cameo, could be a reference, could be like a dead one laying on a slab in a lab somewhere. Could be a skull of a predator. Like, who knows in what, it doesn't mean it's going to be a main character or that it's going to be an Alien versus Predator movie. But apparently the script for the sequel to Alien Romulus currently includes a predator. Now, I didn't put this in the rundown, but the other cool thing that I saw on a video was a video of an interview that Fede Alvarez did when he was promoting Alien Romulus, and someone asked him how he would do if he has any ideas to do an Alien versus Predator movie in the future. And he said, which I thought was really cool and smart. I'm not going to get the quote exactly because I didn't write it down, but he said, the best way to do an Alien versus Predator movie is to not know you're watching it until the other guy shows up. So basically saying it would be really cool if it's just an Alien movie and you go and you don't know, and then there's a twist in the second act and all of a sudden there's a predator there and you're like, oh shit, this is the kind of movie I'm seeing. Or vice versa, where it's predators and they're on an alien planet and oh shit, we found some eggs and here we go. Yeah.
Well, very similar. Like that seems a very Fede Alvarez thing to do.
Yeah.
Judging by Romulus in itself. Of like, here's an entire movie. Oh, we're just gonna pivot it right on its head.
Here's some 10 minutes at the end. We'll make you. I gotta watch that again.
so good and disturbing.
It was so crazy. Yeah. And Friday was Saturday. Actually, was Alien Day yesterday. So good timing that we're talking about this. 426 LV426. So it's possible. I don't think the Alien Romulus sequel is necessarily going to just be an AVP movie, but I like his idea of having it be a surprise. But we've talked about this before. I don't have faith in studios to not market an Alien versus Predator movie as an Alien versus Predator movie. However, Alien Romulus was such a big hit that you got an audience for a sequel to Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
They make Alien Remus or whatever, then people are gonna go, and then hot damn, there's a predator in this movie. That would be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
There's a lot of ways they could do it good too.
A lot of ways they could do it.
A lot of ways they can fuck it up. But
yeah. We also got an animated. Did we talk about the animated Predator trailer? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. But that's out as well. Killer of Killers is the name of the
think so.
Predator animated movie that's coming out to Hulu this year as well. It looks really good.
Yeah. No, they're...
Plus we got Alien Earth is coming out this year too. Like this is a banger year for aliens and predators.
Who was attached to Alien Earth?
Noah
That's what
Hawley,
yes, it was. Okay.
my friend.
Yep.
Noah Hawley.
I was like, I know it's a big name and I can't remember who.
Oh man,
Mr.
Wait for that.
Brain Screw himself.
I'm so excited for that. What a year! Yeah. Okay. Welp. Steve, do you have a comic to review?
I'm just thinking of Noah Hawley. Like when your credits are Fargo, Legion, and now Alien Earth, it's like, you're just something going on up there.
We've probably talked about this before, but do you remember that he talked about how he pitched a Doctor Doom movie to Marvel years ago?
Yeah, I think we did touch on that.
I think it was like when Fox still had it. It would have been like a Fox movie, but like he really wanted to make a Doctor Doom movie.
And I don't know whether that was on the pod or if it was just you and me talking about it, but yeah, I
Who
remember
knows?
that.
It's never going to happen now. But
hey, the multiverse is still a thing, Mike. That's why we have a name.
Isn't it kind of a bummer that like it's going to be so long or maybe never that we'll get another like casting rumor for the new Iron Man or whatever, you know, like,
yeah.
And like we're going through, we're getting that with the new DCU right now. Like we're getting like a new round of like, oh my God, who's going to play Batman? Who's going to play, you know, we're like, they're casting a Superman movie. Oh my God, they're starting over, all new casting. Like we're going to be living in this for a while.
Yep.
With the Marvel stuff, it's kind of petered out. Like all the main characters have been cast or those characters have been killed or whatever, you know? So it's like, we're running out of characters that I'm excited about.
Yeah, our next casting is going to be for Squirrel Girl or something, where it's like, yeah, that'd be awesome, but...
I mean, but like the X-Men, the new X-Men.
Oh, yeah,
assuming
true.
that they
That'll
don't
be
just stick the old... assuming we're not going to just keep going with the Fox X-Men, which I really don't want them to do. But that aside, like, assuming we're going to get a new team of X-Men, like, that'll be exciting. But then that's kind of it. We're kind of done with Marvel stuff. Maybe forever, maybe. And I kind of miss the days when it was... when these roles weren't locked in and people didn't sign 15 picture deals, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah. Anyway, I don't remember how we started talking about that. Oh, Noah Hawley.
Yep.
And, yeah, stuff like that. Anyway, I have a comic to review. Do you have a comic to review?
No, kind of ish, maybe.
Kind of ish, maybe. Well, I have two to shout out, but the official one I have that I got from Funky Town Comics and Vinyl this week was Issue 2 of Peacemaker Presents Vigilante and Eagly double feature. I read the first one myself. It was great. I read the second one, and guess what? It's great. The you know, too long didn't read version of this is that if you like the Peacemaker television show, you will like this comic book. It's very similar to Peacemaker Tries Hard, which was a miniseries from last year that I loved and thought was really fun. It's very in tone with the language of the show. The story consultant is James Gunn himself. He's not writing the script, but James Gunn is involved in the making of this book. So it's definitely like the same sensibility as the show, same sensibility as like the Suicide Squad.
Yep.
And each issue is half about Vigilante and half about Eagly, although the Eagly stuff also has Peacemaker in it. So it's not just like you're not just watching an eagle fly and screech and all that kind of stuff. The Vigilante storyline is that he thinks Peacemaker is missing when in fact Peacemaker just is avoiding him and told him, oh yeah, no, I've been kidnapped or something. Just stop calling me or whatever. So Vigilante, being obsessed with Peacemaker and an idiot at the same time, is pulling out all the stops to try to find Peacemaker and causing a lot of trouble, a lot of violence, a lot of death, despite Peacemaker not actually being missing at all. It's like kind of a farce in that way, and it's very funny. The Eagly thing is Peacemaker and Eagly, they're on some vacation, and the League of Assassins are trying to kill Chris Smith. And
this one does.
Yeah. Again, I think I talked about it when I read the first one a little bit, but the Vigilante section is written by, again, story consultant on both is by James Gunn. The Vigilante section is written by Tim Seeley with art by Mitch Gerrits, which is excellent. Anything you can get interiors by Mitch Gerrits, that's excellent. That's definitely worth picking up just for that. The Eagly stuff is written by Rex Ogle, pencils and inks by Matteo Lolli, colors by John Kelly's, I don't know. Pat Bussero is the letterer on both of those. So I recommend it. If you like the show, you will love this comic. That's the best way I can say.
Nice.
That's the same tone, same kind of sense of humor, same craziness, same violence, same heart at the same time. So it's a great tide over till mid-August, or sorry, the end of August when we get season 2 of Peacemaker. So recommend it.
That is also dated?
Yes, it is dated for the end of August, I believe. Quick shout out to a book called, oh, you got that too?
Yeah.
Moonshine Bigfoot?
Yep.
Is that the one that you're going to do a review
that
for?
was the
Or shout out for?
maybe not quite, but yeah,
Maybe not.
ish,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
This is a book that Funky Town Comics has been promoting quite a bit. They have a bunch of copies in it if you would like it. I read this book. It is crazy. This is a crazy, crazy comic book about a guy raised by a Sasquatch baby raised by humans who makes his own moonshine.
And effectively ends up being the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes, it's basically the Dukes of Hazzard in the woods, and
Bigfoot form.
a humanoid Bigfoot and his hippie girlfriend are on a crazy like Dukes of Hazzard, but also kind of like Mad Max Fury Road style like car chase. Everyone's crashing and exploding, and it's a wild, wild, wild book. If those and the art is really good. The art is very detailed. It's almost like I like this book, but it was almost like too much was happening. Like,
there was a lot going on. Yeah.
It was a lot. It's like full throttle, pedal to the metal in every kind of sense of the word.
Yeah.
So
that cover
again,
is a Funky Town exclusive too.
This is a Funky Town Comics exclusive cover for this book. This is a book coming out on Image Comics. It's a brand new #1 on Image. So you can go check it out with an exclusive cover from Funky Town Comics.
Speaking
Moonshine
of which,
Bigfoot.
Jesse's in the chat
Bigfoot.
now.
Jesse's in the chat. What? What up,
Yeah.
Jesse? We're plugging your Moonshine book. Not yours. You didn't write it, but you're selling it.
Yeah.
So yeah, get
We're
to Funky
plugging your
Town, pick up a
Moonshine.
Moonshine Bigfoot. An exclusive cover just for you. Just for you fine folks from the Multiverse Report.
And anybody else who walks into Funky Town.
Yeah, and of course. But everyone that shops at Funky Town listens to this podcast, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Every single person.
Right, Jesse? Right?
Right, Jesse? You don't let people in the store unless they can tell you what we talked about in this recent episode. Multiverse.
Especially when he can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
All right.
Free comic book day time?
Yeah, let's do some free comic book day stuff. I had the list up somewhere. Where did I leave it? Where did it be? There we go. So yeah, this Saturday, like we said, free comic book day at Funky Town Comics or your local comic book store if you're not in the Syracuse area. A ton of books. I'm not sure I'm going to read every single title of these. Maybe I will.
There's a number of them. I would say just hit the, play the hits.
All right. Archie's Comic Spectacular. Black Mirror, #1. Black Mirror comic book. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Seemingly, and Black Mirror is an anthology series. Comics are famous for having anthology works within them. So like that's perfect.
Black Mirror pushes the boundaries of weird on TV sometimes, and there you go.
That's an absolute slam dunk of an idea for a comic book series. Champion, Conan the Barbarian, Critical Role, Black Hammer, DC All-In Absolute Universe. A couple different editions of that one. Def Leppard's Hysteria. Def Leppard's going to have their own free comic book day.
What?
Comic book, all you Def Leppard fans out there.
There are dozens of them, I'm sure.
Diablo, Dr. Seuss, Sampler, Energon, Universe Special, Fantastic Four X-Men team-up book, #1 of that, teaser for that. Gargoyles, Demona, #0. Godzilla, Hulk, I Hate Fairyland. IDW, Dark Find Your New Fear. I don't know what that is. Iron Man and Friends / Spidey and Friends. Free comic book day. Ironheart, Marvel's Voices, #1. Something I cannot pronounce for the life of me, so I'm going to skip it. Kanga U Tests and Tournaments. Mega Man, Minecraft, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Special. Post Malone's Big Rig, #1. Post Malone has a comic book? What?
About a big
free?
rig?
I don't know. It's free. Power Rangers VR Troopers. Whoa. That's just been, fans have been clamoring for a VR Troopers Power Rangers team up, I would think. Speed Racer, #0. Spider-Man Ultimate Universe, #1. Star Wars, #1. What? Star Wars
I forgot what VR Troopers was. I just had to fervently Google that.
It's like a ripoff of Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be like if there was a comic book. It would be like if the Beatles and the Monkees made an album together.
Right.
Yeah. Street Fighter versus Rival Schools, Superman's Good Guy Gang. I think we read about that, right? Tamagotchi, Thundercats, Tower Dungeon and Isaac, and Transformers Worst Bot Ever Special. Those are your free comic book day selections. And normally, you can go in, you can take like 2 or 3 of each of those. But you know what? If you go in and you're like with somebody, maybe you bring someone that doesn't care about comic books and you're like, I'll take these 3. You take those 3. And then you can walk away with more 3. That's your secret. That's your secret, folks. Sorry, Jesse. I'm giving all the secrets away. But Steve, any of these free comic book day books standing out to you specifically?
So you skipped one or 2 that kind of jumped at me. One being Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, I skipped that? Oh, sorry.
So,
I was like just kind of, I was awash in a sea of titles. I'm sure I skipped
So I think Dark Horse and Marvel are doing the thing they did last year where like half of a book is one and half a book is the other, because they have like the ASM and Ultimate Universe like shoved in the
there's
same
a lot
book.
of that free comic book day will be like one half, kind of a half and half kind of style.
Thundercats and the Powerpuff Girls.
Whoa, I didn't notice Powerpuff Girls on that.
That one looks like a team up. Like
That's
the cover's got all of them on it. So who knows what that will be, but I'm sure it'll be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious about the Diablo #1. Because like
really?
Someone who's played all those games, there was a story to them, and it was a decent story, and it was something that could be told quite well in a graphic medium.
All right. Cool.
I'm not holding my breath on it, but it's worth picking up, giving a look.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely in for the DC All-In Absolute Universe special. I'm in for the where was it? Star Wars #1, whatever that is. I'm not sure if that's a reprint of the actual Star Wars #1 or if there's
I think they do like every year they do a free comic book day and they call it a #1.
But they are launching they're relaunching Star Wars, aren't they? Because it's going to be after Return of the Jedi.
I can't remember when though.
I can't remember when either. But yeah, a lot of these titles sound really cool. A lot of it is going to be just me going and seeing what's there and what ones are jumping off to me, what the covers look like, what's popping.
Yeah, I get to miss free comic book day this year.
No. Hey, why, Steve?
Scout training thing.
Good old scouts.
Yeah, thankfully I'll be done with that soon. But yeah, I'll have to put my quote unquote order in for Jesse so that my kid gets the books that he wants.
Yeah.
I don't care what I get.
Absolutely.
It's a matter of making sure he gets what he wants.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say feed the children, but that's very awkward and weird. So we're going to not do that and
feed them with comic books.
Right, feed them comic books. No, don't feed them comic books.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, aside from those, this week in your local comic book store, you may find the following: Batman Superman World's Finest annual issue #1, Batman The Last Halloween #7, Darkwing Duck #3, Defenders of Earth #3, Doom Academy #3, Doom's Division #2, Fantastic Four #31, Feral #12, The Flash #20, Godzilla vs. Spider-Man #1, Grimm #22, Jim Henson Presents #3, Kid Juggernaut #1, NYX #10, Power Rangers Prime #6, The Question All Along the Watchtower #6, Red Hulk #3, Rogue the Savage Land #4, Slash's Apprentice #1, Snot Girl #20, Something is Killing the Children #41, Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Codebreaker, Star Wars High Republic Fear All the Jedi #3, Star Wars High Republic Adventures #17, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker #3, Thunderbolts Doomstrike #3, Thundercats #15, Ultimate Spider-Man 16, Weapon X-Men 3, We're Taking Everyone Down with Us #2, and Wolverine Kitty Pryde #1. Cool pairing up book right there. And those are all going to be in your local comic book store this week. So I don't know that I'm pulling any of these, to be honest with you.
That Wolverine Kitty Pryde is actually Claremont writing a follow-up to it's a follow-up to some of the Madripoor stuff where the two of them were involved. So it's a very much Chris Claremont joint. So I'm definitely picking that one up.
Yeah, that might be something I grab then. For sure.
And then Ultimate Spider-Man and Fear of the Jedi, I think, are the only other things. Some of these
Of
Killing of the
course.
Children would be if I had like caught the like 10 in between.
I know. I was just thinking about that the other day. How I kind of want to know what's going on in that story, but I also like don't have the energy to figure out where I left off and
No.
how far where
There's
I go.
too many things, too many other things where I'm like, okay. I'm sure it's good, but
Someday I'll circle back. Someday.
find out what is killing the children.
Yeah, exactly. Something.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but
a lot of things over the course.
That's true. Should we let the non-Andor people go so we can talk about Star Wars Andor for the next 3 hours?
Yeah, Mike, you remember how you said it was going to be real short? We're 45 minutes
I know.
off of one trailer.
Well, when we know we got to soak up some time, we can go deep on Predator.
That is true. And we went pretty deep.
Deeper than we expected to, for sure.
Deeper than I've ever had a discussion about the Predator, I believe.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how long we can talk about Andor season 2, episodes 1 and 2 and 3. I'm sure we'll at least get to an hour.
I think we'll make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are you talking an hour just on Andor?
Easily. I don't want to talk an hour just on Andor.
No.
Rather just talk. Yeah,
but if you don't want to hear us talk about Andor at all, what you should do is go to the review section of your local podcast app. Whatever. Give us a 5-star review, like, subscribe on YouTube, do what you will to bump us in all of your social feeds. Check us out on any of those socials, primarily Instagram and or Blue Sky, the Multiverse Report. Beyond that, Jesse watched Revenge of the Sith in the theaters today, so that was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's been making the rounds. Back out for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
I'm deciding whether or not to bring my 7-year-old. It's right on the cusp of.
My 8-year-old didn't make it through.
Yeah. See, so, I feel like Mustafar would probably do him in. Like everything else, I feel like would be fine, but like that final emotional, I hate you, you were my brother, like all of that.
It was the igniting the lightsaber in front of the
younglings,
Padawans, the younglings. Yeah. That did it for my son. Like, nope.
Yeah,
we're turning this off. I'm done with this movie.
I don't think it would register with him what was happening there. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, my son did.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't want to watch this movie anymore, Dad. Okay, we don't have to.
Like, oh, you just ruined Anakin Skywalker for me? Cool.
Yeah. Oh, the guy that I just watched 7 seasons on Clone Wars be the hero.
Right.
Now he's a monster.
Yeah.
Great. I don't want to watch this.
I just built him up to be one of the coolest Star Wars heroes ever.
Yeah. Yep. Totally get it, Sam. No problem. We don't have to watch it.
Yep.
I'll just tell you what happens.
Oh, you know what? We can let's go watch episode 7 where. Oh, never mind.
You know what the difference though is? He'll be sad by Force Awakens. Like the Han Solo thing in Force Awakens will make him sad, but that is a bad guy killing a good guy. Whereas in Revenge of the Sith, it is someone you thought was a good guy and you loved for a long time becoming bad and murdering children, and all the other characters that you know what I mean,
and then continuing for years to kill every character
be a
that
monster.
you loved.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, got a pledge in from Richard.
Yeah, Richard. Thanks, buddy. You're always there for me, Richard. You're always there for me.
Absolutely. Much appreciated, buddy.
Anyway, now that we've tangented, we're about to talk about Andor, episodes 1 through 3 of season 2. So here's your friendly neighborhood spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the first few episodes of Andor, stop listening. Okay? If you have, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Steve Andor. Season 2.
It's so good.
Banger.
Like
banger.
It's one of those where every time a show comes back, and it was, I mean, to be fair, we just went through this with Daredevil. It was a long gap and there were a lot of other questions, but like a show comes back and you're just like, all right, what are they going to do? What's
a show that you have high expectations for, a show that set the bar high, coming back for more.
Yeah.
Daredevil, I had less hopes for because it was a different creative team. So I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was.
Right.
This is the same creative team. So I am going in with like, this better be great. This better be as good as season 1, at least.
And to be fair, watching Celebration last week, the way Tony Gilroy was walking around and waltzing around and doing his thing, I was like, he's way too confident for this thing to suck.
He's confident. He's confident. Yeah. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
he really,
You're right.
he really
right.
was.
Yep. He's just walking around. Yeah.
I didn't think about it
Sweet.
last week, but I thought about it after I saw the episodes, and I'm like, yeah, he knew.
Yep. He knew. He's walking around with some big dick energy at
100%.
Celebration, and it is earned, my friend.
Yep.
The first scene, the opening of Andor Season 2. So great. So great. He's stealing an experimental TIE fighter.
Yep. A TIE Avenger, which was
TIE
originally
Avenger.
shown in the Star Wars TIE Fighter PC game back in the early 90s.
Yes. Yes. Really cool exchange with the woman that's like nervous to be helping him.
Yeah,
but
it's
like
like
she's
the
clearly like
plant.
a plant
Yeah.
or yeah. She's nervous. What if I die tonight? Was it worth it? You know, like, and he's great. This is what makes it worth it, talking to you right now. But then you got a hole in your lip.
Yep.
Okay.
Seltzers
The best
are
part.
really, really hard
best-
to drink.
Okay. Sorry. Are you okay?
I
Do you need a
think
towel?
I'm going to make it.
Okay. The best part, and such classic Star Wars to me.
Yep.
He doesn't know how it works,
No.
and he can't fly.
I like
very well.
all the training that he got like briefed on, completely wrong.
Yep,
Flight system is
completely wrong.
completely different. He just
Yep.
starts poking buttons.
Yep. Which I saw an article that called that out as being like, this is something Star Wars never does. Usually, anyone that can fly and if you fly the Millennium Falcon, you can also fly a TIE fighter. If you fly an X-wing, you can also fly the Millennium Falcon. Like, it's seeming a lot of times it's interchangeable, which is true. And I didn't really think about that. What I thought of it as, it's classic, like in the same. It felt the same as being like, the Millennium Falcon is a piece of shit that breaks down all the time.
Yeah.
Like, things don't go right all the time in Star Wars. And this to me was like a classic, like, it's funny, but you're also on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Similar to Empire Strikes Back. Like, it's funny that they're yelling at each other to try to fix the ship while the TIE fighters are attacking them.
Mhm.
And you're like, are they going to get away? And this is also just like, it's funny that he's flying backwards and doesn't know what to do, but it's also like, is he going to escape? Like,
Yeah.
is this just, he going to get caught in this first scene of his show?
So I
So
saw that
cool.
I
It
saw that
just felt
described
so
as
exciting.
100%. I saw that described as Cassian literally played out the first scene of every Star Wars flight game I've ever played. Of like, all right, we're here.
Yep.
Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah, why am I sideways? Why am I sideways? Yeah.
Wrong button,
Yes,
wrong button.
that's me in every flight
Yeah.
challenge of any Star Wars game that I play. I'm always terrible at those. I never know what I'm doing. Yes, it's so relatable.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
But yeah, they
That was
probably
great.
taught him how to fly an interceptor or something and assumed it was going to be the same. And he gets there and looks at the board. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah. And then he had a line in episode 3 when he finally talks to what's her, Playa or something, like the woman that works with Luthen. I don't remember her name. I just watched Andor season 1 again. It rhymes with Leia, which I think is weird because she kind of looks like Carrie Fisher. She kind of looks like Princess Leia
Yeah.
in a weird way. So it's strange to me that they have a name that rhymes with Leia or sounds like Leia. But when he's finally talking to her,
Clea.
What is it?
Cleya. Clea Markey.
Clea. Okay, yeah. When he's finally talking to Clea, he says, "This is not the ship you trained me to fly," or something like that. This is not what I was
Yeah.
trained for. So they did try to give him instructions
Yeah.
on what they thought it was, but then it wasn't. It was just different.
Yep.
Which is just, I don't know. It's so kind of real, you know?
Oh, 100%. And things
Things
get
don't always
botched,
go the right
and
way.
then things go even farther sideways for him.
Yep.
If you thought
Things
this
do
was
not-
as bad as things were getting for Cassian,
Yeah. He lands and his contact is gone, dead.
Yep.
Replaced by a rebel cell of some
Yeah.
kind that can't get along and is fighting amongst themselves. And there's
Yep.
like a bit of a Lord of the Flies situation in the middle of
oh,
the jungle.
100% Lord of the
Yeah.
Flies. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great analogy for that. Like they were
Just thought of it right now. Yeah, but it's true.
to the
Yep.
point where they're like trying to find food and figure out what they're doing and
Yep,
faction
they don't know what they're
splitting
doing at
and-
all. Yeah.
No, that was yeah, that like for him to land and assume he's walking into he's still walking into a rebel cell.
Yeah.
But it shows, much like Saw said in season 1, how split everything was. It's not like the rebels that we see in episode 4.
Yep.
Like in A New Hope, it's a cohesive, there's a command structure, like a cohesive set of rebels. Like, this is the Alliance.
Right.
This is, right now we're in, before the Alliance, just a bunch of rebels.
A bunch of rebel cells, which is also which is demonstrated quite well in Rebels, the animated show. Same time,
Yeah,
they slowly start coming together more and more, and then we see them finally start working together in Rogue One. Really, it kind of shows you like how quickly they came together before A New Hope.
Yeah,
you know, like it's a pretty new thing that they're aligned.
And that the Maya Pei Brigade was apparently what their title was, which I guess I saw somewhere that Saw had mentioned them by name in season 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is when he's listing
Yeah.
other kind of cells that don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Also, I did not have Yavin 4 on my list of places we would visit.
When was that the Yavin 4?
Yeah.
That's the planet. Okay. Okay.
The jungle planet was supposed to be Yavin.
Because he flew away and there were those
the
like,
Massassi
towers
temples.
there.
Yeah.
And I thought that looks like the ones on Yavin 4, but I assumed that it wasn't because I thought they would tell us if we were on Yavin 4. But it also makes sense that they were flying there because that eventually becomes the base.
A rebel, hotspot. So, but I did the same thing, and then I like fervently looked up like, was that Yavin 4? Because I saw that, I'm like, those are definitively the Massassi temples from Yavin 4.
Right.
Lo and behold, they were.
So cool. So cool. So that's Cassian's adventure most of the time until halfway through the third episode where he gets out of there. Otherwise, we're cutting back to Bix and B2 and the other two characters that I don't remember.
And
Bresso,
his other person there,
the son of the dad that got executed, who escaped Ferrix in season 1. They're all
Will it something like that. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I'm sure
they're all hiding out on a grain planet, Mina Rao, or a farming planet at least. Hiding out, laying low, trying to stay out of Imperial, in just the way of the Imperials, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of their storyline.
They couldn't hang out in Ferrix anymore.
No, had to get out. Is it the first episode that we get Krennic? He's the episode 1, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the
Return of Orson Krennic.
Right. The way they shot, like, I normally hate jump cuts and like constant interweaving of stuff like this.
There's a lot of that.
In as rapid a fashion as they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first 2 times they did it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then the more I kept watching it, I'm like, they were seamlessly, like, there was allusions to what you were going to see next at the end of every shot, and it was just like moving between these 3 stories like a perfect braid.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. So we learned from Krennic that they're interested in a planet called Gorman.
Yep.
And Dedra, however you say it, is going to be leading that task force to figure out, because there's a crystal or an element on Gorman that they need for the Death Star, I assume, Project Stardust. And Dedra's going to be in charge of that operation, basically. And so she has to leave her long-standing search for Luthen and Cassian to go do this other thing. I really liked Krennic in this episode because in Rogue One, they place him a little bit. I mean, he's certainly at odds with Tarkin. That's like the whole thing. It's like Tarkin and Krennic both want to be in control of the Death Star project, and Krennic thinks it should be his because he's been working on it for so long, but Tarkin like outranks him a little bit, so Tarkin naturally kind of takes it over. But in Rogue One, it's easy to look at Krennic and be like, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a fool, you know. But they make him in this, you can tell he's good at his job. And you know why he's there. And like there's that one scene where Dedra's staring out the window and he walks over to her and asks her a question. She's like, I'm still processing. He's like, don't give me that. You know exactly what you would do, and you knew exactly what you would do after, you've known for the last however long. Tell me right now. And like that is like, oh, this guy knows how to read people and he knows what he wants from people. Like he's good. This is Krennic being good at his job.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't end up like leading Stardust without being good at what you're doing.
Exactly. And in Rogue One, sure, you're told that he's leader of the project, but we're also like he's getting undermined and kind of like.
Well, he's getting undermined, and he's
being set up to fail in that movie. So it's easy to see him as just some blowhard idiot that doesn't deserve to be in his post. Right. But this kind of just like, oh, I get why he's there. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah. We also know from watching Rebels that the Gorman thing isn't going to end well. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no spoilers. If you haven't seen, there's a certain episode of Rebels that mentions something bad happening on Gorman.
So the first time I heard that in the show, I'm like, is that the same?
Right.
Yeah, I think it probably is going to be. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Also, the other plot line here is the wedding of Lita Mothma, Senator Mon Mothma's daughter.
Sorry, I just randomly looked up the thing we were talking about, and I forgot what that led to. And what we may see. Thing? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know.
Now I'm remembering the episode that was in, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, I'm excited. You don't know.
Yeah. No.
It may not happen. It might not happen, but it could.
I just want to see that speech.
Could get a cameo. Yeah. At that wedding, we also met a senator who is in that same Rebels episode. Do you know who I'm talking about? Senator Erskine.
Yeah. Yep.
He's in Rebels.
Yep.
He made his debut in Rebels. Yeah. So cool. So cool. So Mon Mothma's daughter's getting married. It's a huge wedding on Chandrila, their planet. Traditional wedding. She does not want her daughter to get married to this person, but she's like,
and she thinks her daughter doesn't want to get married to this person either.
Right.
Because she's talking about how nervous and everything she is.
Yeah. But as set up in season 1, the daughter just wants to defy her seemingly at every chance. Whether or not it's good for her doesn't matter. She just wants to defy her mother. So this is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is there? Luthen is there.
Which Mon did not know was happening and did not appreciate.
Yep. No, but the gangster father of the groom is why Luthen is there.
Right.
To unveil some like big
statue he bought.
Historic statue of whatever. So they're all there. They can't get a hold of Cassian. They're Luthen
and also Vel
going crazy because they haven't heard anything. Vel is there also.
Vel Sarth is there. So
and
who is Mon's cousin anyway, so it makes sense.
So she would be there. But also at the end of episode 3, we see that Cinta was there.
Which means Tay is going to be very dead.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So it sets up that Tay, who Mon Mothma reached out to in season 1 to help smooth over her financial issues with the Empire. Tay is the one who brought in the gangster guy whose son is now marrying Mon Mothma's daughter.
Yeah.
Everything seems tied up in a neat little bow, except that Tay is going through a divorce and he's having some money problems and he feels like he's undervalued in this whole operation and wants to get paid.
Yeah. And a good chunk of the second and third episodes is Mon trying to figure out what's going on there and how to mitigate that.
Yes. And Luthen is very anxious about it.
Yeah.
Thinking that he's going to talk, he's going to say something. Mon Mothma is certain that she can find a number that will keep his mouth shut, and they're going to meet next week. And I don't think Luthen has the patience for that. What is it at the end in episode 3? He says, I can't remember what he says. He said, like, we may have to do something.
Right.
Or we may have to take care
and
of it.
she says something about
something
about
vague.
like, oh, we'll take care of it. You're setting a meeting for next week. And it was like, next week's not going to happen. We may have to take care of it now or something.
Yeah. And she said, well, I don't know what you mean. And he said, well, how lovely for you. I love that. Because it's like, how lovely for you that you don't know that I'm talking about guy right now. What a lovely life that you don't know what I'm talking about. So good. Oh, so good. And
just like that, the only shot we get of Cinta is like her coming out, saying, like confirming it's Tay, and then there's just this side eye, this side eye glance with Vel, and it's just like, he's dead. He's real dead.
And here's the thing, Steve. We know that the second string of episodes is going to be like a year later.
Yeah.
Right? Because every chunk of the episodes is covering a year.
Yeah, because it's 4 years prior. So it's,
Yeah. So we're not going to see him get killed.
No.
It's just going to be happening off screen. Like, they're probably never even going to mention him again.
Yeah.
And I love that, like...
but you don't know.
It is subtle storytelling.
Yes.
Where, like, if you're paying attention, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have poor media literacy skills, you will not understand it, but that means you're dumb.
Yeah.
And sorry for you. We're all in. We're paying attention. We got it. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So
or you didn't see season 1.
Or you didn't watch season 1.
In which case, what the hell are you doing?
What is wrong with you? And then Mon Mothma proceeds to get absolutely hammered and dance to a absolute banger of a song on the dance floor at her daughter's wedding as a way to avoid the real horrors of her life.
Oh,
which I thought was
again,
awesome.
though, like the cinematography of like her pounding those shots in between all the different cuts, and like this scene happens and she takes a shot, and this scene, and I'm like,
she's still going.
It's just escalating and escalating, and I'm like, this is just so it's so well. I literally, because you didn't see it till a day after myself and Matt saw it, so I texted him. I was like, I don't know how they do what they do shooting this show, but the cinematography is just so impeccable.
From moment one, from the TIE fighter thing that we already talked about, I said to my wife, I can't believe how good this looks.
Yeah.
Like, it just looked so good the whole time.
We're literally getting a movie every week. We're getting a Star Wars movie every week, man.
Yep. So it would be, I did see someone post the picture of Mon Mothma from Return of the Jedi saying, can you imagine telling someone when the Return of the Jedi came out that like 25, 30 years from now or whatever, there's going to be a series where this character gets hammered at her daughter's wedding and dances to a techno song? You'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would that ever happen?
That's great.
We cannot move on without talking about the insanely intense sexual assault scene that happens in episode 3 with the Imperial officer and Bix, Kayleen, a character that I love. I think she's awesome.
Yeah. Which we meet because this was a year since, right? Since
season 1. It was a year after
1.
the events of Andor.
So end of Andor season 1, we see her broken.
Yeah, from the torture.
Like tortured, broken. And when we meet her in season 2, she's, gotten through what she could at this point.
But she's still haunted by that because it starts with her having a dream of that doctor coming closer and crawling towards her.
Not Pershing. Pershing was Mandalorian. I can't remember what the
I don't remember
character's name was, but
Yep. But
like that's where we're brought right back into it, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And that scene, that assault scene, was so intense and so like realistic. Like the violence in that scene was more harrowing than probably any other Star Wars fight or violence I've ever seen, because of the context, because of what was causing it,
Yeah.
And because it was just two people, there was no lightsabers, there was no force, there's no magic powers, there's no blasters even.
Yeah. Just raw.
Just like, yeah. And so, you know, she's getting beaten, which is horrible and hard to watch. But then also, she picks up like a pipe and like smacks him in the head with it multiple times. And like that looked real and his reaction looked real. The direction of him like holding his head and stumbling around and falling down outside was like, this is the most gruesome I've ever seen a Star Wars thing. And it's not even like gruesome how I would normally use that word in like talking about an alien movie,
right
or
now, like
a horror movie or something.
It wasn't
like
gory. It wasn't. There was no over the top. It was just like raw is the only thing I can think of. Like it was almost too real.
It was like visceral.
Yeah, it's exactly how I could see like if you're watching a physical fight. Like it wasn't the overly choreographed. It wasn't. It was just.
Yeah, it wasn't flashy.
No,
it wasn't flashy. It wasn't like It wasn't like Acolyte. Like look how amazing these amazingly perfected choreographed fight scenes are, or whatever. It was like
just swinging a sledge,
it was dirty and
piece of metal at a head, and
yikes,
doing everything you can under your power.
It was tough.
It was
tough. And that scene unfortunately ends with the death of what's his name, Braza.
Oh, Braza.
Yeah.
Right, because that leads to them calling in the troops on Bix.
Yep. And them having to escape on the TIE once Cassian shows up.
Right. Her, Willman, and Brasso. Well, her and Willman taking off, and Brasso trying to meet up with them.
Yeah, and we find out after that they shot him off the speeder before Cassian could take him out. Which is a real shame, because that was a great character. He was a good friend to Cassian, took care of Cassian's mom in season 1, took care of B2. They just leave B2 on that planet all by himself. They gotta, come on. You gotta pick up B2. He's the best. I love B2. Kick a Cassian. When is Cassian coming home? I will be alone. Take me with you. It's so sad.
If you type in B2 emo, the top search result is B2 emo Left Behind.
I know. You got to get that guy.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like
the internet has officially agreed to riot if Cassian doesn't go back for B2.
I'm with you, internet. However, I don't think he's going to. I feel, as much as I want him to, I kind of think in my heart that that's the last time we'll see him. Because I think that they are, or you know what? Who knows? Because the next set of episodes is going to be a year later. We don't have to see everything that happens. Maybe he's just going to be there. I went back and got him when I could, when it was safe. Great. So it's very possible. But also, I know that Tony Gilroy has said in an interview, which has definitely been confirmed by these first 3 episodes, that he said they wanted to take Star Wars more seriously than anyone else has ever taken it. And I think that's true of season 1, and I think it's true of season 2.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes people get left behind in your life for whatever reason or another. So I can totally understand if they leave B2 and we don't see him again. Although my heart would be broken. My heart would be absolutely broken. I love that droid. Love that droid. Anything else we should touch on?
Probably.
So I mean, it's hard to cover 3-hour-long episodes because they were all I expected them to each be like a half hour. 2 of them were 55 minutes long, and one was like 40.
Yeah, we literally got full length movies. Like we got a full length movie on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's like a 2.5-hour movie. Yeah, fucking wild.
Oh, so you know what you did miss?
What?
Mother coming to dinner.
Oh my God. I thought of this earlier and I forgot because we moved on to something else. Serial's mother, incredible character.
Oh my God.
I love Serial's mother.
Great.
She's the best. She's the great in season 1. She's hilarious. And she's perfect in this scene.
She somehow makes me so uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's great.
So uncomfortable. Serial's faces.
Yeah.
That actor is so good because when the show wants you to hate him, you hate him so much.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like season 1 and season 2. But like, there were a couple times I was losing my shit laughing at, he has like just faces of pure disgust
Yes.
and hatred towards his own mother. When like she's like in the foreground of the scene, like we're kind of like we see her profile and we just see him sitting across the table and he's making the funniest, most disgusted face.
Yeah.
Made me laugh every single time. That guy rules. I love that actor.
Yeah.
He's so great. And then like he excuses himself and it cuts and he's just lying down on the bed,
Right.
like passed
Like,
out.
I need a minute. Like I'm done.
It's the best. Like all I can do is lie here right now. I hate this. I hate my life. I hate my mom. This thing ever.
This is
But
then
then
everything I have the energy
Dedra,
for. Yeah, Dedra just comes out freaking dick swinging.
yeah, which is totally in character for
Oh,
her.
yeah.
I love it. I was like, this is really awkward because she's a very strong, I don't take shit character.
Right. So you see
And
her
now she's gonna have to be
try and like get out of that mold and like hold it in when his mother's at dinner, and then Cyril leaves and it's like the gloves come off.
Yeah. Even first of all, the fact that they were even together, Dedra and Cyril, I was like, is that too I don't know, is that too easy or whatever? I mean, he saves her at the end of season 1 and there's definitely like some chemistry between them in that moment. But I didn't expect them to be fully like romantic. And I guess it's fine because we got this incredible scene out of it, so it works. But like at first I was like, I don't is it too storybook fairy tale-y for them to just end up together? But I think it worked because the story's so good and the show's so good and the writing is so good and the actors are selling it so well.
Yeah.
And they found a way to have that scene and have it work without changing any of those characters, how they would react. It's not like that can happen sometime where they're like, well, now you two are going to be together, so you have to be a little softer. And it's like, no, none of the three of them were softened at all.
Yeah.
They were the exact same characters from season 1, and they just figured out a way to make it happen that way. This is what would happen. We don't need to soften it because it's, now it's like at home with Dedra and Cyril. Like it's not a fucking sitcom. No, Although I would watch that sitcom.
I would
definitely
too.
would watch that.
Now, does that have a laugh track?
Oh, 100%, 1,000% laugh track. But there's all like you hear like weird alien laughs and stuff too.
Right.
Yeah. God damn.
Great.
The show's great.
It is. Great. Do you have a happy fun tagline for Andor yet?
No, I tried to think of one the 2 seconds before we started recording and I couldn't. But
did we for season 1? Or were we out of that at that point?
I think we're probably out of it. Well, I'll think of it. I'll think of it. I don't know.
We'll come up with something.
But speaking of Andor, if you're still listening, next Sunday, we're not going to have a regular show. Next Sunday, we'll be releasing our Star Wars next Sunday is May the 4th.
Yes.
May the 4th be with you. And instead of a regular news show, we'll be doing our traditional, now this will be a 3rd year that Steve and I and a friend of the pod, Mapaseda, will be doing a Star Wars ranking episode. We should have talked about this at the beginning of the episode.
We probably should have.
But first year we did the movies. Second year we did Force users. And this year we'll be doing series. Speaking of Andor, so we'll each be going around and doing our top 5 canonical Star Wars series and ranking them and talking about why we like them and arguing about why we don't agree with each other. We won't be arguing too much. We're not that kind of podcast.
Much as you said, I tried this out and I thought, hey, this is going to be an easy one.
Me too.
And I threw 5 up there and I'm like, those are 5 good shows.
Yep.
Are they the right ones? And in what order?
I thought it was going to be easy until I started actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
same.
Wait a second. Like maybe 2 of these are easy.
And that's why I was throwing a bunch of questions at you last night of like, all right, do I have to think about it this way or that way or what? Like series, not seasons, right?
Not seasons.
Because
Matt said, should we do seasons? And I was like, that's like too much. Because then we're like, what if all my top 5 seasons are seasons of like the 4 seasons of Rebels and season 1 of Andor or whatever?
Right.
And we're just talking about 2 shows. Like,
we're only 3 episodes in, but I would probably throw season 1 and season 2 of Andor as 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So like, That's not fun to talk about. So
Right.
yes, we gotta outweigh. So like that makes Clone Wars a real mixed bag. You gotta like weigh
Right.
the average of good versus slog.
Mandalorian.
Or even like Mandalorian. Yeah, like season 3, not a lot of people thought season 3 held
Right.
up. So it's all about like overall, this is a show. Where are you ranking this show versus
Right.
another show? So yeah. It's easier for a show like, well, I was gonna say Andor, but now there's a season 2, but like show like Skeleton Crew, any like one season show, Obi-Wan, Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, like those are one seasons. So like
Yeah, you know
those
what
are
you got.
easier to judge. Ahsoka, those are easier to judge those. But when you get into multi-seasons, Clone Wars, Rebels, Andor, Mandalorian, you know, it gets a little tougher.
Yeah.
You gotta do some averaging out. So we'll see. We'll see next week on May the 4th. What our top 5 Star Wars series are.
Right. And for full transparency, we'll see on Wednesday night. You guys won't see till May the 4th.
We're recording it in advance.
Because if something weird happens between then and Sunday, then you'll know.
Then you'll know. Yeah. But yeah, we decided to record in advance because May the 4th is actually Sunday, which we would normally do, be doing an episode. We'd rather pre-record, post that episode on Sunday, and then we just get to enjoy watching a bunch of Star Wars stuff on May the 4th. We get to celebrate May the 4th the way we want to, not feel like we have to record a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we love doing this for you wonderful people and for ourselves. But, you know, we got to put some boundaries in place, especially on Star Wars holidays.
It's true.
Yeah.
When it lands on the actual recording day, we can figure something out.
We can figure something out. It's not like we're ever going to record on Life Day.
Right.
It's too important. Too important of a day.
Is it November something?
Something.
Yeah. 24th?
Anyway, sounds right. But thank you for sticking around, people. If you're still listening, you should do all the stuff that Steve told you to do before we did the Andor review. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Like us on our social medias. You can check us out at themultiversereport.com. Send us an email, multiversereport@gmail.com. You should back my Kickstarter. I brought a gorilla to a gunfight. New comic book, 30-page oversized issue from me and artist Matt Flint, Michael Woods on colors. I brought a gorilla to a gunfight on Kickstarter right now. Go and send me some pledges. Please, 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 please. And that's all I got. You got anything else, Steve?
Good here.
Well, then, as the two suns set over the burnt corpses of Owen Baru and Owen and Baru Lars, we say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you in the multiverse.